This is Not Just Making the Tea, the podcast which discusses the realities of our career and life choices whilst made at school and college. We celebrate the parts that haven't gone to plan as much as those which have. With every chat, we plan to explore what life skills there are to be learnt and how they can influence and help us to succeed. I'm your host, Rachel Price, founder of Amali.com, the career website for young adults. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I hope that you enjoy the experience and that you will continue to join me and my future guests on our journey. I really appreciate anyone who takes the time to listen, so please subscribe, like, tell your friends, and send me any comments and feedback. I hope that you find these chats thought-provoking, entertaining, and hopefully that they will give you some positive vibes for your day. So on that note, let's get started with today's topic. Habits of successful individuals which they recognised early on in life. People define success in lots of different ways. Some think it's about having a certain amount of money, others define it as a way of living, a level of freedom, and there are many other definitions. The truth is, you can define success in 100 different ways. The only thing that matters is whether or not you meet the expectations that you've set for yourself. If you were to ask most people what they want out of life, however, almost everyone will say in some way or another that they want to be successful. Whether it's by getting a promotion, having a nice or even luxury car, owning the house of their dreams, the powerful network, the list just goes on. Unfortunately, because success is such a subjective aim, very few people have any sort of actionable plan or even ideas as to how they're going to achieve this success that they want so badly. They believe that if they say or think about it enough, it will just happen. I'm sorry to say, but in this reality, life is just not like that. So as I've now reached the good age of 45, here are some of the things I would recommend you start doing in your early 20s to guarantee you'll be successful. And I will also add that I wish someone had told me some of these when I was starting out. Look after and work on your emotional health now. Life only gets busier. Too often people say the phrase, "I will once I'm a bit further along," or "I'll do it next week or month or year." But then we get a bit further along and nothing changes. They just keep saying, "I'll do it when I'm older, later when I have more time." But this becomes a dangerous cycle. So top tip number 1, take 5 or 10 minutes per day and start practicing the habit of working on your emotional health now. Spend time with people who aren't in their 20s or the age that you are right now. You don't learn as much by spending time around people who are in exactly the same place as you. You learn by surrounding yourself with people who are further along, who've been where you are, and have moved on to the next level. So if you're in your 20s, then you want to be spending time with people in their 30s, 40s, 50s and above. They're the ones with the answers, not your friends who are the same age as you and are still trying to figure things out for themselves. Top tip number 2, widen your circle of friends and acquaintances. You will learn so much more. Save and invest as much money as you possibly can. The sooner you get started by saving and investing, the more dramatic your gains will be over a longer time. Business Insider published a great piece on this. It was about how much more money you would have for your retirement if you started saving when you were 25 as opposed to 35. I can tell you the difference is massive. Secondly, financial freedom doesn't come from buying new sneakers or cocktails whilst at a brunch. Financial freedom starts to happen when money becomes a tool for you to make and use to make more money. But it has to work for you, not the other way around. And the sooner that you start practicing that skill, the faster you'll get to a place where you're financially secure. Top tip number 3, talk to a financial advisor. Save or invest a small percentage of your monthly available spend and start reaping the rewards. Get rid of friends who aren't going anywhere in life. This sort of links to one of the previous points. I realise that this could seem harsh, but it is a necessity for your success. You are a direct reflection of the people around you. At a certain point, it's important to realise where people are headed in life and how much more time you want to continue investing in those relationships. You don't have to be mean about it or stop talking to your long-term friends entirely, but know that friendships are like investments. Invest wisely. Top tip 4, think about the 10 key people you spend your time with. Are they adding to your chances of success, or will they ultimately hold you back? Keep reading, even when you finish school. So many people stop reading in their 20s. We live in an age of Netflix shows and podcasts, YouTube series and Instagram TV interviews. But the truth is, reading in your 20s and onwards is for a completely different experience. It slows you down. It forces you to think deeply. It's also one of the only forms of knowledge transfer that allows us to receive insights from those who came decades and even centuries before us. Top tip 5. Smart people read, and so should you. Find a workout or exercise regime that supplements your primary aim in life. Success is almost always rooted in some form of physical exercise. When we're young, we tend to only associate physical exercise with sports. But as we get older, physical exercise becomes one of the few ways that we can maintain relationships with ourselves. Our gym time is our personal time. An early morning run clears your head for the day. Instead of only associating exercise with getting fit, think of it as a routine to make you better in all aspects of your life. Top tip 6. Find the workout or exercise which allows you to support your headspace as much as your physical needs. Don't forget your hobbies. We all have things that we love to do purely for fun. Unfortunately, they tend to fall by the wayside as life continues. Our hobbies become reprioritised. Careers take over, then add in families, bills, vacations, and later on kids, etc. And the next thing you know, it's been 10 years since you picked up that guitar or you wrote in your journal. But our hobbies are what keep us grounded. So top tip 7, find your hobby. They help to remind us not to take life too seriously and to always make time to enjoy the journey. Find a mentor and be happy to forego some short-term rewards for knowledge and experience that will last you a lifetime. It is easy in your 20s to become obsessed with becoming successful as quickly as possible. And while this sort of hunger to succeed is great, it should never cause you to make short-sighted decisions. For example, what's more valuable? Pitching your services for £1,000 but being treated as a contractor, or performing your services for free but getting to work directly with the person that you want to learn from most? A lot of people would disagree with this sort of mentality, and yet it's one of the greatest success shortcuts on the planet. The more you can give up on short-term rewards and invest in yourself, the slower things might be in the beginning, but the higher your ceiling will ultimately become. Top tip 8. Look for and reach out to individuals who you find inspiring and wish to learn from. Think big, and you never know who might get back to you. Nurture your relationship with your significant other, partner and/or family. Not that long ago, there was a mindset that you could only become really successful if you were 100% dedicated, obsessed with making progress, and, well, single. There are still a lot of entrepreneurs who live by this sort of mentality, and even some who do have relationships who regularly deprioritise their partner. Seriously? And eventually their partner will say, he always says that they have to work and there's no time for me. This is a very flawed approach to both business and personal life. I've come to learn, through my own relationships, that having someone to share the journey with and to emotionally support you along the way isn't going to hold you back. If anything, a life partner will make you better, which means it's your responsibility to help nurture that relationship along the way. Top tip 9. Be aware of how you treat those whom you care for. They will only put up with being second place to your success for so long. So that's our topic for today. I hope you found the points helpful and also of interest. For more information, check out the resources within the Learning Hub on Amali.com. Additionally, go to Amali.com and subscribe for updates and activities on topics aimed to help us all be more successful. If you've enjoyed this episode, why not subscribe and get new episodes weekly? You can do that for free via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast and more. You can also check out the Instagram page, Not Just Making the Tea, for more information and updates. Thank you once again for listening. It really means a lot. Keep safe and talk to you soon. Take care and have a good day.